My name is Patrick, and I am the CEO of Purposeful Armament, and I would like to welcome you to the PA Concepts YouTube channel. Now, unlike our main YouTube channel, this channel is going to be a lot more laid back, a lot less heavily edited and scripted, and more focused on the products that Purposeful Armament is bringing to the market. Now, we will have some other behind-the-scenes content on this channel, but it's going to be primarily focused on making sure that we can show off a lot of the new things that we are building to bring to you guys. So, if that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on those notifications. We're going to have 1 to 2 videos every week. They're going to be really short, just little updates, showing all of the things that we're doing and kind of explaining the reasons behind what it is that we're doing. So, for starters, we're going to start with the button guards that we made for the Baofeng UV5R and the Quansheng UV-K5. Now, basically what we did for these button guards is we sat down and we looked at what are some of the most popular entry-level consumer radios. At Purposeful Armament, we're really focused on preparing concerned citizens. That is our main goal. That is our mission statement. A lot of people don't have the professional understanding of communications. I surely don't. But a little radio like this, which can basically be treated as a walkie-talkie. Yes, of course, follow all rules, laws, regulations. Yeah, don't get in trouble. But a lot of people don't have access to, super high-end radios. And the Baofeng UV5R is a really, really good starter radio, as is the Quansheng UV-K5. So we identified these radios, and we started thinking about issues and problems that we had with them. One of the big ones was, and this happened to me quite a bit, I would throw my radio into my range bag, and by the time I got to the range, the radio would be on. And sometimes I would do the same thing going home, and then I'd take the bag and throw it into the closet, and my radio battery would just absolutely drain and die in the bag. So whenever I actually needed it and I went to turn it on, it wouldn't turn on. That was one of the big things that we saw. Another big thing that we saw is while you're out in the field, with the radio in your kit or your backpack or what have you, you can have the exact same issue with the volume knob. Even if the radio is turned on or is turned off, you can still accidentally, turn it on or off. And not only that, but you can also accidentally adjust the volume. This happened to me a couple of times. We were out here. I was way down about 600 yards away, and someone was trying to communicate with me over the radio while we were filming a video. And I had accidentally, while I was just walking, turned the volume knob all the way down. And so I did not hear him. And that's not okay. That's not what you want. And of course, we also noticed that, your push-to-talk button, your call button, these important buttons that can block the channel that you're transmitting on, can accidentally get hit sometimes as well. So we set out to find a good solution, and we really wanted to follow 2 main things: low profile and low cost. If someone is buying one of these radios, chances are they're probably not looking to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a really nice radio setup. Now, with that being said, a lot of people also don't want to spend $20, $30, $40 on a big, massive plastic piece that kind of protects the radio. On top of that, a lot of those other pieces that are on the market, not only are they, $30, $40, they're also quite large, and they can be cumbersome and kind of difficult to use your radio with. We really wanted to make sure that we were saying low profile. And I think that we've done that. So this is our UV5K, UV5R. The names are very similar. But this is our Baofeng. We'll just call them Baofeng and Quansheng. These are our Baofeng radio button guards. So I'll throw some pictures up on the screen. This is a rough prototype. We have made some changes to this, which we will see in a later video. But this is basically the gist of it. Very low profile that only protects what you need the most effective way. So around our volume knob, we have walls that have been built up. These walls basically help to, prevent that button from accidentally being turned on. And I can still actuate this if I'm doing so, purposefully. I can either do that through this side, through the middle of the radio, or I can do it by pressing down and twisting like that. So there's multiple different ways to get around it. Now, we also designed this to just basically cover some of these other parts up here. So it does fit over your antenna and it fits over your LED lights. Now, on this side, we have made another change to this as well. We've extruded out this surface a little bit so that there's a little bit more of a crevice that you have to insert your finger into to hit the push to talk. We kind of realized that if you just kind of rub your finger across this, you can accidentally hit the push to talk, and that's not really ideal. And we do have a little bit of room there to be able to, press it. I'm showing the other camera. So that's that. Now, another big thing that we wanted to do with these is these radios come with screw-on clips for like your belt or for your pants or whatever. And an issue that we had with some of these other button guards that were low profile and that you could 3D print yourself, they didn't have a good way of allowing the clip to also fit on the radio. It was either you screwed on the radio button guard or you screwed on the clip. We didn't like that. We want you to be able to use every piece that comes with this radio. We want this to be as out of the way and inintrusive as physically possible while still protecting your radio. So we have sort of cut out this small area. This will allow you to continue to use that belt clip. And the best part is that this attaches with those screws. So there's no additional hardware that you have to purchase unless you don't have these screws and you don't have a clip, in which case you will. That's really nice. That's a really nice aspect. You also have a little slot up here so that you can pop that battery out as well. So this is our design for now. We'll give an update on where we're at now, but this is one of our prototypes and it works pretty well. Now we move on to our Quancheng. This is a newer radio, which actually has significantly more capabilities than the Baofeng. We'll do a video at some point breaking down both of them because I think that these are the same price radios. I think that you should go with this radio personally. But anyways, this one was a little bit different, but we still maintain the same mentality, right? So we want to make sure that we can be as low profile as possible. Part of that means that we wanted to only cover up what is necessary and connect this in an inintrusive way. Now, the Quancheng does not have a clip that attaches via screws. It kind of slides into this slot here. Now, we could make something that would slide into that slot, but then you can't use your clip. We want you to still be able to use your clip, right? So we decided that the better solution was going to be to create a button guard that would slide over the top and sort of snap into place. So this can completely come off. We can see it here, and we can slide it in. And it's not really audible, but you can kind of feel it click into place. So this clips on. It's not quite as secure as like the Baofeng because it's not screwed in to the actual body of the radio, but it is durable enough to actually protect this. As you can see, we've protected the volume knob up here. There is a built-in piece of plastic protector right here on the radio itself. That does a decent job, but not a full job. So we decided to completely cover this. And again, it is relatively easy for you to get your finger in there, but you do have to be very, very deliberate about actuating it. On the other side, obviously, we have some cutouts, again, for the push-to-talk call buttons, all those nice things. These are inset in just about the best possible way that we could. So they're deep enough that they're not going to accidentally get hit if you brush into something, but they are not too deep to where you can't get your finger in there easily. And that's basically it for these radio button guards. So let's talk a little bit about the manufacturing of these. We are using additive manufacturing, which is just kind of a fancy word for 3D printing. The big reason for doing so is because we want to have something that we can rapidly and cheaply produce. With that being said, again, you have to think about the radios and who's buying these and who's using these. Professionals are not buying these radios. They're getting issued radios. At some point, I'm sure that we will look at, you know, some of the nicer Motorola's and design button guards for those as well. But that's that, you know. So people who are buying these need cheap solutions. Whoops. They need cheap solutions. They want cheap solutions. And these solutions are cheap. Now, some of these look a little rough, especially as you look closely at them. These are before we have really squared away our printer settings. We are printing using ABS filament, and we're testing out a bunch of different filaments. We're testing out a bunch of different settings and temperatures and all that. If you know anything about 3D printing, the ABS plastic, the ABS filament, prints at a lot higher temperature, and it requires an enclosed printer, and it requires a lot of other actual settings. It is very, very finicky. So again, a big push that we've had is to make sure that our products look nice and they feel nice. And the reason we're going with ABS is because it looks nice, it feels nice, and it's the most shock resistant. We really looked at, you know, kind of what are going to be the big stress points for these button guards. And we said, well, what are they for? Well, they're for protecting the radio's buttons and the volume knob from being hit into things. So obviously we said, hey, we need to have shock resistance. We need to have something that can absorb that shock and can, you know, maintain strong. So we chose ABS. Now, there are some other things that we're doing. We'll take a look at those later on. But the essence of what it is that we're trying to do is make sure that we're keeping costs down by using 3D printing and using strong filaments, good print settings to make sure that this looks good to the end consumer, and making sure that it functions well for what people are going to need. So if you want to see these, you know, more marketing photos or anything like that, or you maybe want to check these out, we do have the UV5, the UVK5. We have these for the Guancheng available on our site. We have an initial run of 50, which are using our old printer settings. So if you want to just buy it and test it out, or, you know, give it a shot, you can do so. Those will be for sale for $5, and they're for sale right now. Like I said, we have a stock of 50 that we will be selling. So once those 50 are gone, we're going to make those unavailable, and then we are going to make sure that we crank out some more of these and some more of these that are using the correct printer settings in the correct designs. So like I said, if you guys enjoyed this kind of video where it's a lot more laid back, it's a lot more relaxed, there's not as much editing, and we're just kind of talking about the products and stuff that we're designing, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next PA Concepts video.